Why did Han Solo call Chewbacca a noob? He made a Wookiee mistake. Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Xaereth Prevails. This is my first attempt at a 3v3 early game GAC video. It's a work in progress, guys. Give me feedback, respectful feedback. Or otherwise. I'll probably read one, but not the other. Huge shout out to my patrons, by the way. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for your support. I really could not do this without you guys. You are all amazing. And if you want to support this channel for free, folks, all you gotta do is hit that thumbs up button, like, subscribe, comment. Let's mount the algorithm and let's get going, shall we, folks? There's a lot to cover. So, how can I make an early game list full of things when I have 15 million GP? That's probably one question we should just get out of the way. I'm 15 million GP on my main account. The thing is, I just started a little account. This will be my 4th account. I think I'm pretty well qualified. I've been playing this game for a long time, and I invented a lot of these teams, actually, or helped make a lot of these standard back when they were like the meta. So I started a new account called Xerber, as a lot of you probably know, but that account is only 1 million GP, a little over 1 million, and I don't have all these teams. So what I decided to do, because early game, a lot of people just have a hodgepodge of madness, and I don't know what you have on your roster. So what I'm going to do is show you guys what I think is the optimized version of most teams, with a couple different variants for some of them that you can at least work toward. But here's the awesome twist, the twist of awesomeness. There aren't going to be any Galactic Legends or Conquest characters, because no early game account is going to have those for the most part. I know there are exceptions, but we're not going to have any Galactic Legends or Conquest characters. It's just characters that you can farm or unlock by farming other characters. So legendary characters, and toward the bottom of the list there will be some of the most recent characters and teams, but we won't burden you with those immediately. I'll be like, hey, new players, go get Balin, even though that's actually what I'm going to do with my new account. You guys can follow along with that. I'll be making videos on my progress with that account. I'll even put a link to my latest one, my first one, in the video description if you're interested in my strategy. But I need to show you guys the teams on my main account, because I actually have all the characters on that account. My little account just doesn't have even close to enough, and we'd just be squinting trying to figure out what's the silhouette of that. So don't worry about getting the crazy relics that I have. Just get these teams. So let's start. Commander Luke Skywalker. I realize that this is kind of shaky ground. Very new players are not going to have Commander Luke, but a lot of people are going to have Commander Luke teams, and I mean, it's one of the first teams you're going to work on, and so I'm assuming that you guys are going to have a certain number of these teams, and if you don't, then there's things to work for. The best split is typically been with CLS with the 2 different C-3POs. Just because it has a lot of good internal synergy. It does some cool stuff. Early game, this is actually a really strong team on defense. I mean, late game, everything changes, right? But early game, this team is actually pretty rad. A lot of people don't realize how good this is. They try to put Commander Luke with Han and Chewie, and that's all right, but it's certainly not optimized. It has just go put it on defense and watch your wins pile up. Now, Han and Chewie can actually go with a lot of different characters. If you don't have Beskar Mando, which a lot of people don't, if you don't have Beskar Bando, you can get Wedge as the lead. You can use Boba Fett as the lead. They just want something that boosts their damage, basically. I think Bando is the best version of the lead for this team, but You don't necessarily have to use him. Like I said, Boba or even Wedge. Wedge Honshu was an old school awesome team that you probably won't regret, and you'll need Wedge at Relics anyways to unlock some of the stuff. So that's good. And then if you have Beskar Mando and you also have Queel and IG-11 Relict, then this is a decent team. You can put it on defense or offense. I don't care, guys. You're not going to accomplish too much with it. IG and Queel have some really interesting internal synergy together. I mean, this team used to be good like 4 years ago. It still does some decent stuff. Now, if you have Darth Revan, there's a few different things you can do with him. Remember, we don't have Malgus yet, because that's a conquest character. Malgus will eventually reshape how you play this team. But you can use Darth Revan with Malak and Basti. That's probably the best version. If you want to use Malak to solo things, which early game you're going to be able to solo a lot of different teams that people place, then you can put Marauder. You can even put Sith Empire Trooper. I didn't put it here, but Sith Empire Trooper is a tank for the team, is also acceptable. Darth Revan and Basti are really the package that you want to keep together. And if you don't have, gosh, there's a fly flying around here. What a filthy pigsty I live in. Oh. Anyways, that's not true, guys. It's very clean here. Very clean. So, anyways, Basti and Darth Revan, and then someone. But, Malak does make the team significantly stronger, of course. And if you want to put it on defense, then that's definitely the comp you want, those three. All right, so let's talk about Jedi. Oh, by the way, these guys, I do like the flexibility of being able to keep Malak for offense, but you can put them on defense. Either one is fine. Jedi, I'd like to just keep on offense, honestly, because you want to mix and match. I realize that this is a bunch of characters that you may not have. Jedi Revan, Jedi Knight Luke, Basti, Jedi Cal, Hermit Yoda. These are all characters you're going to need kind of soon, and they meet the criteria, frankly, guys. You're going to want these kind of soon in the game. And I like the combo that I have here, because Basti, with her lead giving a ton of extra potency or protection, bonus protection to Jedi Cal, and then Hermit Yoda buffing him and just keeping them alive. You can beat teams like Malgus teams, because sometimes you're going to face opponents that can do that. You can beat a lot of different teams, and then that preserves the Jedi Revan with Jedi Luke and Mace Windu. Team that can also work really nicely against like resistance teams. It works against I mean, this is like your jack of all trades kind of team. It beats a lot of different things. And if you don't have one of these characters, like, don't worry, they all kind of smash together nicely. Like, any combination of these 6 for the most part is going to be decent. I mean, you probably want Jedi Knight Revan with Basti or Jedi Luke as the lead, but otherwise they're all pretty good together. I like the Jedi Cal auto kill. I like that Mace and Luke slowly undermine your opponent's ability to have health and protection. Like, they just slowly chip away, and Jedi Revan kind of helps with the control and passing turns, and it's just kind of mayhem. It's pretty fun. Okay, so what about Empire? At first, you're probably not going to have Starkiller. Starkiller should be one of the first ones that you're going to go for. So, typically, you're going to have, like, Palpatine, Vader, and then you unlock Mara Jade as quick as you can, guys, to start farming her up. Because she is also helpful to unlock Starkiller. But once you do that, then Starkiller is the better version with Palp and Mara. And eventually, I mean, we still, even as of the recording of this video, we still don't have the Stranger unlocked, but eventually Starkiller will go with him from Conquest. That's not something you need to worry about, though. Starkiller is pretty great with EP Mara early game. You're able to take down a lot of like Galactic Legends that you face, and a lot of different legendary teams. It's a very strong team. If you put it on defense, just make sure your opponents aren't super skilled and know how to beat it. There are a couple teams that beat it pretty good in 3v3, but for the most part, this is This is pretty good. I would keep EP Mara and Vader together on offense if you can. I don't think that's a strong defensive team for the most part, though. I mean, the turn meter manipulation is pretty redonk, as they say. And then I mean, who knows? Do you have Moff Gideon? He can actually go really well with Padme if you have Padme. If you don't, then I've always loved this team. Thridian is what we call it. You just need a tank that can take hits, and then you just play turn meter manipulation, and you can beat a ton of early game teams because Thrawn ties up half of their team, and then when they hit him, he shoots them back, and Moff Gideon keeps reducing turn meters, including Thrawn's, so that you don't get Thrawn doesn't take too many turns, and when he does, he heals his guys. He helps. He gives a passive ability to cleanse and gain turn meter. It's a very strong team. It's kind of fallen out of favor in the final meta at this point, but it's always been a pretty good team, and it kind of ramps damage by Moff Gideon applying armor shred. It's a fun team. You can swap out Stormtrooper for like Shore Trooper. You probably do want a taunting tank, frankly. You don't have to, but you know, like TIE Fighter Pilot could work, I guess, if you wanted to get crazy. All right, so the Traya team, I mean, there's no two ways about it. You really do want, like, these should be two of your earliest Omicrons if you care about GAC a whole lot, getting Traya and Savage up to relics, and then you can a lot of times early game you can solo things like Savage. People used to, if I remember correctly, people used to use Savage to kill like CLS teams on your, so like you can just do it solo, and then if Traya has her Omicron, then she and Nihilus can just two-man a lot of things. It's a really potent mixture. You can also put it on defense. Most of your opponents are just not gonna know what to do with it, like throw a Galactic Legend at it, or just fail, just ignore that zone because they don't know how to beat it. It's a tough team on defense. So yeah, it's good on, I would prefer it on offense just because you can split it up, but obviously early game you're not going to have a ton of teams you have to beat anyways. Oh, here's a fun one. Bad Batch. If you happen to have the new Bad Batch team, this is the optimized team. Omega, Wrecker, and Crosshair. Not a lot of early game players are going to get it. I wouldn't recommend it for most early game players, but there it is if you happen to have it. Adrad. A lot of people will have Adrad early game because you need to get profundity, and a lot of times, like, yeah, I mean, Jin is pretty common. Baze is not required for anything, so you don't have to. A lot of people will try to put the Relic 8 Cassian with this team because he's required at Relic 8 to unlock profundity, but a lot of people like put it on defense, and this is what I call the Cassian fallacy. Just because it's Relic 8 doesn't mean it's better than the other things that you happen to have available, and it's not good on defense. Without a taunting tank, people are going to use their very commonly used Bosk Bounty Hunter team with Grief and Mando, and they'll one-shot you super easy. They'll just shoot the stupid fish man in the head, and he'll disintegrate. They'll have a fish fry, and it'll be great. That Malbus, whatever his name is, Baze, just ends all pretenses though. Like, if you have some kind of a taunting tank to go with them, it's a decent team on defense. Though I would say it's really good on offense too. A lot of people are going to early game be putting a lot of Imperial teams down. Like Iden is something a lot of early players use. They'll put sometimes troopers down. Like if they have Dark Trooper, Moff Gideon, any of the Empire teams that can be dazed. Like if it's a Starkiller team, for instance, they can't be dazed. So even though it has Emperor Palpatine and Mara, then and they gain a lot of turn meter, they can't be dazed, and you shouldn't do it. But Adrad just, it's a very natural counter to all Empire teams. If you read the kit, which we're not going to get into, you can prevent revives, you can do all sorts of awesome stuff. And Baze, honestly, this team actually, a lot of times, if Datacrons aren't involved, which we're not even touching Datacrons here, but if there's no Datacrons involved, it's a pretty high win rate to use this on even like a Reva Grand Inquisitor team. in 3v3. That's legitimately something that a lot of people do. Well, not a lot of people, just me. Now we have Bo-Katan Mandalore. This is something that a lot of people are going to be going for her pretty early with the new player. All the focus datacrons that we're getting, sorry, I promise no datacrons, with the focus, with the light speed tokens. There's so many things, guys. The light speed tokens are going to let a lot of people get Bo-Katan kind of early on. She's amazing on offense. She's also fairly tricksome on defense. She's kind of irritating like that. I would keep her for offense though, because honestly, if your opponent doesn't have datacrons and stuff, like which a lot of them aren't gonna have them, she's gonna actually kill a couple different galactic legends, a couple different like really strong legendary teams, and if you know what you're doing, you're going to be able to get your way through it. Plus, if you have this team, you probably have Beskar Mando, and Beskar Mando is probably going to be on offense, hanging out with Han and Chewie. And then you can slide Beskar Mando over to join this team as needed to provide healing or revive immunity, which is also really nice, especially early game, and healing immunity for that matter. If you have Aphra, just put her with her 2 droids. I know we're getting a new droid soon, and we will need to evaluate the new droid IG-90. Turns out to be the way I think he'll be. You just swap out 000 for IG-90. I think that's going to be the best one. Not good on defense currently. IG-90 probably changes that though. So I would typically recommend her as like one of the very last legendary characters to work on, by the way, but your mileage may vary. All right, so Dash. Look, in 5v5, a lot of times I find myself using Dash on like a Balin team. I know that's kind of late game, but it's going to be early-ish game for my even my small account because Balin's so good. But earliest game before you have Balin, and it's 3v3, so Balin doesn't have room for Dash anyways. You want a good team with Dash. Dash is so good in 3s, especially in early game. He beats so much stuff. It's really fun. His AoE days is really nice. His mass assist on basic is nice, and honestly, you'd be doing yourself a favor by getting Vander Chewie farmed up. And I mean, he's on the same node as Tarful anyways, so if you need to farm Tarful for the new Wookiee stuff, then Vander Chewie's right there helping along. Because if you get the Omicron on Dash, then you get an auto revive for all light side characters. Now, that doesn't mean that Hondo is actually going to revive, because he's not light side, unfortunately, but he is actually very, very good with Dash, and he's good at staying alive. And he can lock someone down. He can captive someone. He's a really good combination with Dash and Vandor. If you don't have those, I would say generally you probably do want to get Hondo. If you don't have either of those, you can go with Dash, L3, and Nest. Really just Dash plus any 2 of these are probably going to be good. Dash with Nest and L3 can take down a lot of stuff in this game, actually. Like you can beat Jedi Master Luke teams, for instance. All right, Jedi training. So yeah, let's go over resistance teams, guys. Really, 3v3 is not a great place for a lot of resistance teams. If I had to, my splits would be Jedi Training Rey with BB-8. And then R2-D2, because you probably don't need R2-D2 for anything. Like, you need him for a Galactic Legend Leia team, but she theoretically doesn't exist on our rosters, right? So the very instant you get Leia, just put Rey on the bench. Now, I mean, you can throw some on I don't know what stage of game you're in, but she can be okay on defense. She can be kind of obnoxious, but you do really want, if you have Zori, which she's an optional farm, she's not required for anything. She is really strong, and she makes her fleet pretty strong if you get her ship farmed up as well. Then the Fin Zori team is really strong on offense and defense. If you know how to use it, then it's gonna unlock powers that some would consider to be unnatural. She does some really crazy stuff. On defense, it's also a fairly obnoxious team. It's just powered by sheer determination and turn meter, mostly turn meter, but it's a very strong team. So those are the two I'd shoot for. If you don't have Zori, then probably you could use Resistance Hero Finn to go hang out with Jedi Training Ray Team on offense, or even on defense. It might be okay. So have fun with that. You could also actually do a Finn Resistance Hero Poe team, which is also fairly potent. All right, so let's talk about bounty hunters. Now, early game, Bosk with Grief and Mando, it's really nice. It's really nice because you get the auto kill, you get the 2 mass assists, you get access to daze, to healing, to all to a taunt, all kinds of awesome stuff. Now, if it's a team that doesn't really do that well, like if it's against certain teams don't really care about being like, you're not going to be able to disintegrate them and permanently kill them, depending on what you're facing. Like Fennec's a really nice add-in here sometimes, and sometimes actually you just use Bosk with Mando and Fennec, because Mando can call Fennec to assist, and you get your contract pretty quick, and Mando ignores taunt and everything. This is a very jack of all trade teams, and you get good banners because of Bosk and Grief combined, that you get your health and protection back pretty nicely. Fennec is a nice add here. Pretty soon it sounds like she's gonna go with some other team, with like a dad bod boba team, but you don't have conquest characters anyways, so sorry, I'm being rude. And then you can, this team used to be really strong actually. Yeah, I mean, Boba with Dengar and Zam. Of course, I've already said that Boba can go with your Han and Chewie, but he doesn't have to. He can go with Dengar and Zam. Dengar and Zam are required, and eventually, you're like pretty early-ish, you're gonna want Dengar anyways, because his ship, the Punishing One, is really strong for the fleet that he's part of. It's like the most important ship at this point. And Zam is required at Relics for I forget who, but for someone. So you're gonna want a Relics anyways. I don't know if you need early resources on this team. If you happen to have them, though, it's pretty good. They have some good thermal detonator synergy, so have fun with that. Do you have the 2 new bounty hunter characters at Relics and Aura Singh with all of her Zetas and everything? You probably not. So, but they do exist as things that exist. They're farmable things. I have no idea if this is even going to be a thing on defense, guys. That's why I put this caption. You sure about that? Wampa is such a strong early game character. With the Omicron, that should be one of your very first Omicrons that you apply. And even though Wampa slowly fades into obscurity in the late game, you get a lot of use for Wampa, and Wampa really just solves a ton of problems in 3v3. All the way through the mid game. Wampa's great. Grievous, hate to tell you guys, without a Datacron, Grievous is just in a very sad state in 3s. He needs more to go with them, and so I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's not good on offense, not good on defense. It's just very sad. You can steal some banners on defense. Just choose Grievous and 2 of these droids and pray, I guess. In 5s, he's way more useful in the early game. He counters a ton of things actually in the early game. In 3s, not so much. He's relegated to the bench. So, hey, have you mostly unlocked Galactic Legend Ahsoka against my express instructions as your very first GL? If you don't have her unlocked yet, but you somehow have Relic this team, you can do it. You could also add Fulcrum here if you want. Put it on defense, confound your enemies who have no idea what the heck to do with these guys. Hera Lead is actually way stronger than you might think. Okay, Imperial troopers. It's tough to know exactly what to do with these guys in threes. The best, in my opinion, I love Veers with Dark Trooper and Piet. If you have them clocked the right way, they'll counter like that CLS team that I showed you guys at the very start. They'll counter a whole lot of stuff. They're terrible on defense, guys. Don't put them on defense. But if you probably wanted to get these all to relics anyways, because Piet is, of course, the Admiral for his fleet, and then Veers is a requirement character. I think at 3, he needs relic 3 for Sith Eternal Emperor. Dark Trooper is not a requirement, but these guys are all so helpful to helping you get through those final tiers of the assault battle that we're constantly doing every month, for 2 assault battles actually, killing rebels and Ewoks. So it's very helpful early game. You kind of need to put some decent speed on these guys, so it can be a little bit fishy, but they have really nice. It's a really nice team early game. Honestly, it'll beat that CLS team, like I said. It'll beat a lot of teams, except for if you see Adrad, don't do that. It'll beat any bounty hunter team you see on defense too, for the most part. Iden, I guess just throw her in there with, like, if you have Scout Trooper. A lot of people will have Scout Trooper because they'll go for Leia early game. So Iden with Scout Trooper is really nice, and then Short Trooper is really nice. Stormtrooper is actually really nice if you're not using Stormtrooper with that Theridian team I showed you. Range Trooper is really nice, and Range Trooper goes really well with either Iden or Veers. Actually, like, you kind of want Range Trooper to help you against those assault battles. Actually, Range Trooper helps you attack out of turn and initiate all sorts of turn meter stuff. So the Iden team, though, you can throw them on defense, and if your opponent doesn't know how to beat the Iden team, like, you might just get holds forever. Like, Iden is it's a very imposing team if your opponent doesn't know what to do against it. If they do, they'll probably just use Adrad or sometimes even Wampa, though they really have to know what they're doing if they want to use Wampa, because Scout auto dazes Wampa. So all right, Padme, you can use her with this is a team that is just kind of sad in threes because all the characters she wants to be with are kind of rented out. You could use, if you have Mace available. I know I showed you guys that earlier Mace team above, like, or the like 6 characters that go really well together, all the Jedi. If he doesn't go with them for whatever reason, you can put Mace here with Snips and Padme, and it's a pretty good defensive team. People don't expect it to be good, and then they'll use a team that could, like, maybe chip away at you, but you'll actually chip away at them with Shatterpoint from Mace, and it's pretty good. On offense, if you don't have Moff Gideon to go with Padme and another support character, support Galactic Republic, then I mean, that's a pretty good one. You can take out like a Traya team with that if you know what you're doing. Let's see, Kelleran Beck. So if you're early game, you don't know what to do with Master Qui-Gon and Padawan Obi. I'm not saying that Kelleran Beck's the very best thing to go with them. Like, clearly you're going to want to get the Conquest character, Queen Amidala, for them. That's going to be their best place. But until then, Kelleran Beck does have some decent synergy with a lot of Galactic Republic teams. So you can do this. It's not the worst idea in the world. Maybe it's not the best, but it's not the worst. Okay, so early game, honestly, in threes, there's not a lot to say about Saw or Mothma. They both really, really want Luthen, which is a conquest character that is really not even that super important, but Luthen helps this team a lot. Helps it even more in fives, of course. And so basically you have to choose between a Mothma team and a Saw team. And then like, you're not always gonna have Drogon. Drogon's gonna go with Leia, but if you happen to have Drogon early on because you're farming, working on Leia, then Drogon goes really well with either of these teams. Kyle wants to be on both of these teams too. You can also put Captain Rex here. You can put Cara Dune on one of these teams. Basically, it's just mix and match. Saw can even go on a Mon Mothma team though, but not vice versa. I mean, Mothra can go on a Saw team, but it's gonna break all the synergy. It's gonna break the team. So, anyways, these teams are just they're not that great. You can throw Cassian in here as well. Remember that Relic 8 Cassian you're gonna have. That's not gonna go with Adrad. Well, you can go here. And actually, I mean, you can also put POW. You can get Hoth Rebels Scout. There's an infinite number. Well, there is a finite number. I was lying, guys. There is an actual finite number of combinations you can go with. But really, I would choose one and just go with that. Saw ends up being more useful late game, in my opinion. But Mon Mothma's also pretty good late game if you're into that sort of thing. Okay, so Cere. She doesn't have Malicos, which that's who she really loves. You could also put Starkiller with her, actually. It's nothing stopping you. I mean, early game, if you have Baby Cal and Fulcrum, you can put it on defense and kind of mess with people, or keep it for offense. You'll be able to counter some stuff. So it's a very survivable team. It regenerates pretty well. Does a lot of damage as long as Fulcrum's alive, and she's required at Relic 9 for Galactic Legend Ahsoka, so you may as well get her up to 9 and start destroying people. Or wait on that, I don't care. Okay, if you happen to have some pirates, then Ithano, Kix, and Quig are probably the best version of that team. I guess you could put Hondo instead of Kix or something if you don't have use for OG Hondo. Okay, so now we're getting into the part where more advanced teams. So, I mean, this is something I'm gonna have early-ish game on my new account. I'll have an Enoch with the Zombie Bros. The Zombros, just because you want the pretty patrol assault battle, and they go really well with the Great Mothers, which I'm also going to be working, and they'll also be on this list. But in threes, they don't go with the Great Mothers because Great Mothers don't want them. That they're inferior. They suck. So Enoch can go with them though. Put them on defense, or even, I mean, they do okay on offense. Without a good Datacron, they're kind of susceptible. But on off, they're not. I'd just put them on defense, guys. Your opponent won't know what to do unless they keep Padme for some reason. All right, so there's this whole question of where does Captain Rex go? Because Captain Rex goes with he can go with the Saw team or the Mon Mothma team really nicely. Or he can go with like a Phoenix team. I don't recommend this really. Phoenix are just not good in threes, I'm sorry to say. But you could. That would be the version I would take if I had to. Or he can go with clones. If you have General Skywalker, his best version is with Rex and 5s, but you can also do a Rex 5 Rex team that operates pretty nicely together. And then Skywalker with Arc and Echo isn't the worst thing in the world. It does get beat by a decent amount, but those are the splits that I would use. If you're going to put Captain Rex on defense, this team is... I mean, there are counters to it, but if people don't know what they're doing, that team is really going to mess with people. I don't know what to do with First Order, guys. If you don't get this First Order Special Forces, no, the First Order TIE Pilot Omicron, it sucks. If you happen to have it, then I guess you want to do like Hux with Red Trooper and that guy. Otherwise, like Crew Lead with the if it's like brand new game. Crew is so tough to kill. Like, he is almost impossible to kill sometimes if people don't know what they're doing, if they don't have access to healing immunity. So you could do that. I don't know. Just put him on defense. Just pray, I guess. So I'm assuming you don't have Ki-Adi-Mundi. He's like probably the toughest character in the game to get, and he's not required for anything, so I would recommend maybe just not doing that. But if you wanted to get that, if you had Ki-Adi-Mundi, then you could put him with Qui-Gon Jinn here. That's like kind of the standard team. Otherwise, the new Temple Guard character actually with his Omicron does decent because it ties up a character. You have to have Galactic Republic Jedi on his team to make it work, but this can work. You need the Omicron for this team, or it's not working worth it. Without the Omicron on Qui-Gon, it's not worth it. So double Omicron team for a suspect team. I mean, maybe not worth it. Super worth it, but if you happen to have the characters, you can. Otherwise, just some other Galactic Republic Jedi, because otherwise, the Omicron doesn't work, and Jedi Knight Anakin also doesn't work. Repeat after me: Galactic Republic Jedi for all 3 slots. Okay, this team is terrible, guys. I mean, you can blaze it if you want. I don't know. If you happen to have all these characters and just don't know how to use them or something. Anyways, all right. So this is we used to call this team Galactic Legend Nute. So if you have Nute and Jango and B1, which I think they're all required for different things. Maybe not B1. I'm not sure, but this team is really tough to counter. Actually, it's a really tough team because both of the characters on the left have multiple lives, like they self-revive themselves, and then and Jango just can't be killed right away. And then B1 has a ton of different hits as well. B1 heals, Nute messes with turn meter. Like, this team is kind of a nightmare early game to beat. So placing it on defense, good idea if you happen to have these characters. And then Geos, like Spy and Soldier, you can go with whatever. Putting them on defense early game can be kind of a mess. They don't really counter that much on offense. If you happen to have Sortie and T3 and Lobot, I mean, just do what you want, man. That's a terrible team, but they're all requirement characters except for maybe T3. So, all right, now we're down. Now we're into the nicest part of this. So Telzin with Marin is really strong, and then you can choose between, like, if you take a Saj and then you have the Omicron of Marin, then you know how to mod the team. They'll actually beat Jabba like half the time if you know what you're doing and you have the right modding. So that's kind of fun. If you want to take old Daka instead, against most things you're going to want old Daka because you need some kind of revive, but your mileage may vary. This team is so good early game. Even mid game, they're really good. And I mean, I just killed a Jabba team with my big account just recently with this exact team. I one-shot a fully armed and operational Relic 9, like almost fully Relic 9 Jabba team with I mean, it was in 5s, but it works in 3s too. It actually works better in 3s. And then Great Mothers, look, you can farm these guys. This is an imposing, amazing team in 3v3. Early game, this team is so good. It counters like a bunch of Galactic Legends, a bunch of Legendaries, like tons of teams. This team just melts them. Or you can put them on defense, and your opponent probably isn't going to have a great answer to them. Like, this team is legitimately very strong. Doesn't even take that many Zetas. Like 1 Omicron on Morgan, and then you don't even need a Zeta on Spirit. You need 2 on Great Mothers, and you don't need the Omicrons on them early game. It's a very strong team, guys. And they help you unlock Balin, which we'll talk about in a minute. Tuskens, if you happen to have the 10 Omicrons to add to Raider and you have them relicked, like, this team is really good on defense early game. They just... Raiders mechanics are super duper obnoxious. Now, if you happen to have the Zalbar Omicron and you have them all these 3 relict, then Darth Revan can actually just hang out here. Of course, you're leaving your other Sith hanging, but this team is really strong on defense or offense. You just need the Zalbar Omicron. Ewoks, gosh, we're getting into the dumpster here. Ewoks... You need Chirpa and Nisa, and then you choose Wicket or Peplu. I don't care, guys. It's not gonna do you that good anyways, but if you really need another team, this is the best version of the original Bad Batch team. And then okay, so Balin is not that tough to unlock, actually, because you already have the Great Mothers. And then you farm Merrick and Shin, which are now accelerated, and then you already have Thrawn unlocked almost certainly by then. So you just need those guys and you unlock Balin, and then Balin is amazing on offense. He counters other Galactic Legends as well. He beats that Great Mothers team that we saw earlier. He beats a ton of stuff. He's very, very strong. Early game, really great character to have. If you happen to have Reva and Grand Inquisitor, then 7, like, this is a good team. I don't expect you to have it, but you could do it. With gun guns, I don't recommend people work on gun guns early game, but if you do, if you want them on defense, then you want, so you need Nas and Binks, and then you add Phalanx on defense, or on offense, you want to use Tarpals. It's science, guys. And then, finally, if you happen to have clones, relic and stuff, like Tarkin can go with Scorch and this guy's clone trooper. It can be a good team. They do okay. They all high five each other and stuff. So that's it, folks. I hope this was helpful. Let me know. Give me feedback. I didn't even split it into 2 different defenses, guys. All right, 2 different videos, but I am all talked out. So anyways, guys, please link this to your guildmates if it's helpful too. Tell them of the wonders of this channel. I'm kidding. All right, I am Loopy. I need to go to bed. Thank you all so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Xaereth prevails.